Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derbies, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, hosts of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this edition of Crash Course Derby podcast. I'm reading the tab up there on the front. Whoops.
Whiskey, huh, Chris?
Yeah, Whiskey City, Sturgis.
Slip?
No, it was not. I'm talking to Jacob Wood about some of the stuff that he's got going on. He's trying to get him in. We're trying to get him in through the Zoom. He ended up getting the win over at Whiskey City. Among the many winners, Bobby Whitaker picking up a win there. Dalen Brown picking up a win as well. There is one Jacob Wood right there, so he can hear us. Trading some messages while we were getting live up and running here with Mark Elliott. He was down in Sturgis, so that was a unified point. So you're throwing some stuff at me that I've been chasing all day today with some developments and stuff, and just happened to see that pop up there, and I was reading. You see that little line right up there?
Whiskey. I think the whiskey jumped out at you, Chris.
Yep.
On occasion, you've been known to have a fine single malt.
But it was a busy weekend. I was really surprised how busy it ended up being with two huge shows, two huge indoor shows rolling off, and for the most part, everything went pretty well for that. Some big news coming out of Minnesota. We'll get out to at the end of the show. Unfortunately, Mark Elliott was not able to join us right now. He's going to be busy, but right now I believe Jacob Wood is waiting in the wings. So Jacob is coming off of a win in the compact side of things at Whiskey City. So congratulations on the win there, Jacob, man. Congratulations on it. But more importantly, how tough was it to pull that one down? It didn't seem like there was any easy paths offered to anybody out there in Peoria.
No, it was a great show. I went out there, didn't really know anybody, and just sometimes that works to your advantage a little bit. Sometimes at times it pays to not have any friends on the track, so to say, right? Right. I literally knew two guys. I've never met anybody else in the whole class, so it was a welcome change. When we ran at Carnage a few weeks ago, I literally knew every driver in our class, so it was a lot different.
I mean, obviously with the win, that's always fun, but isn't it nice to just get out on the track sometimes and just not know anybody there and just enjoy the game that is derbying? Like, I mean, it gets to be a pain when you know everybody out there, and some guys, oh, you hit me and blah blah blah, and they act like they're a teenage girl over the deal. But sometimes it's just nice to get out there on the track with a bunch of guys you don't know and just go for it. Like, it's a good time. Yeah, it was great. I mean, getting out there and just exchanging blows with them guys. It was a lot of fun, and it's cool. It's something different, and it's always fun to go out and try new things. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh, did you catch that? Trying new things. So what were you trying new?
Nick King wouldn't let me get away with anything, but no, it was a smooth tech and great show all the way around.
Well, you know why Nick King is such a good inspector? Because he was such a good cheater when he ran. Because they always say the best cheaters make the best inspectors. That's one out there for my buddy Nick. Can't see him again. But that's just why he's such a good inspector.
So in terms of the tech inspection, in terms of having to cut stuff and what was and wasn't allowed, that was one of the first times we got to see the rollout of some of that unified points that we were talking about with Nick there a couple weeks ago. How did it go? I mean, did it seem like everything was looked at through the same microscope? Did it seem like the magnifying glass was on the same thing for all the drivers coming through? Is it a case where everybody was equal going on the track versus everybody was held to the same account by the rule book? How did it go? There's a lot of different layers to this unified idea.
Yeah, anytime you run derbies, and you've been running as long as I do, and if you're not first in tech, you kind of know what they're looking for. It's kind of like the NFL. They have points of emphasis, and they look for certain items, and they're not going to let you get away with this certain item. And it happened to be bumper brackets up there, and I actually had them. I had the message from him, but he already had told other people they had to cut it. So, we went to the pits. It took me 10 minutes. It was no big deal, and he made everybody cut the same things, and all the drivers I talked to there seemed like everybody was held to the same standard. And that's all you can ask for.
Absolutely, and that's great to hear. That's one of the things we've touched on many times. They've talked about unified rules and this and that, and from the beginning, we've said that the best way to do that is to have the same guy or a group of the same people doing the inspection. So it's good to hear that was good across the board. That's a good start.
It wasn't the unified rules yet. It's not yet. This one isn't yet.
Oh,
I was wrong on that one. I'm sorry.
Way to go, Chris.
I know. I missed it. I messed that one up.
Usually you don't lead me astray.
No, it happens sometimes though. In terms of the feature itself and running it down, how did this one compare to the run in Topeka a couple weeks back?
Man, I actually felt like I drove better in Topeka, and I just had a parts failure, and that happens. But I didn't know what to expect. I pulled down and found me a corner and had my ass end sticking out, and I got pile drive right off the start. I thought, oh well, I guess here we go. But the guy that hit me just moved on to the next one. He didn't work on me, so I just let him go do his own thing, and it kind of worked out. It worked out good. You get out there and you find guys that are trying to do the same thing as you, and it just works out. It's just something that happens on the track. It's like an unspoken, bond almost.
Take a peek on that meeting. I guess there's a couple people that were trying to join that's not been able to join us. I don't know if there's any issues there. When you looked over your shoulder, were you surprised that it wasn't Kurt that had pile drove the back of your car?
Yeah. Yep. It was. I wish he tried to get a spot out there, and no, it would have been fun. But I don't even know who it was. Honestly, don't matter to me. It's just fun to be out there, and I told every single one of them drivers that the wind it was good, but it's just cool to meet new people, and it's a pleasure to be on the track with any kind of new drivers. I don't care if it's their first time or if they've ran 100 big shows. It's a blessing to be out there with anybody.
How's your driving style change when you're out there with people that you don't know versus people that you do? Someplace like Capital City Carnage a couple weeks back versus Whiskey City like this. Not so much, your ability to relax, drive, and hit whoever you want, but how does your driving style change itself?
Well, if you watch the video, I always want a car beside me so they can't get on me on the side, and I'm going to try to be close to the wall, and so I don't have to look at that side. And the very first hit, the back of my seat broke, so it laid all the way back. And then I backed up and hit somebody, and then the whole seat broke, so it was rolling back and forth. So every time I hit the gas, my seat would fly all the way back, and I couldn't reach the gas pedal. So I was wore out, trying to hold myself up on the steering wheel, press the gas pedal, and I was wore out after that derby.
Was the steering wheel bent by the time you were done?
No, I actually bought one of the new steering wheels NLR offers. It won't bend. I've bent plenty of them, but this one didn't bend. So, little plug for John.
That's awesome. I don't know if you caught Mark Klein ended up in the hospital today.
Really?
Yeah. Mark was out there, and he was running with CJ in the youth class, and a bumper got underneath the cage, and it got him in the meat of his calf in the back of his leg, and it pinned his leg in the car between the door skin of the bumper and the battery. They stopped the Derby, and Mark from Derby Tees got out of the car and got all stitched up and got checked out and everything. But today had some more issues with it and ended up being admitted because of the situation with his leg. So hopefully he's doing okay.
Wow.
Certainly thinking about him. And as a whole, the show went off great out there. Still having some people saying that they're having some issue joining. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that situation. Hopefully Adam and everybody can can join us. That is 6 Eastern. So we'll get those guys going. Just give you a little bit of rundown on who we saw out there. The Wheelman National Qualifier Heat, the fifth and final out there at Whiskey City. Bobby Whitaker ended up taking the win in that one, and he actually did an interview.
Really?
He did. I think basically Sam was doing a lot of the trackside interviews, if I'm not mistaken. So basically Sam said, I'm not going to give you a check unless you talk in this microphone. But that track, I don't know if you saw the track. The track was gorgeous, and it looked hard.
Yeah, I saw a video early of Teddy Papadopoulos out trying it out and whipping some donuts. So, I haven't heard anything really bad other than some ventilation issues at both of the inside arenas. So hopefully between the promoters and the arenas, they can get that taken care of. Yeah. But heard a lot of good stuff, man. I heard a lot of good driving.
That's been very good. Bone stock full size. Mike Everly got the win in that one. Super stock heat number 4. That was Dustin Johnson getting the win there. Tevin Longest got the win in the youth feature. And then Heat 3, Dalen Brown got the win there. Dalen Brown, he put on a show out there. Dalen and Cody both doing a great job. And Tim Jr. was out there. Yeah. And Tim Jr., Tim Clark Jr. from Smash It, made a post at one point through the course of the aftermath. FAFO, as in he went out there and learned something, which I got a kick out of.
I didn't see that post, but I did see the one where it showed the transmission in multiple pieces, and he said he went out and went after. I can't remember the name he said, but he said he hit him headlight to headlight, and he has to learn more about building. I did see that.
It was the Browns.
Yeah,
they did a wonderful job with their cars, and they were pretty popular as a whole going in with Team RDP. Hey, there's Nick King. Nick King's checking in. I'm not really sure what he's waving for.
I figured it out.
Hey, look at Nick. Nick jumping straight into the 2010s.
I can't even see you guys.
How'd it go from your end? Did you make everybody cut and load everybody up and be all unfair and ornery out there?
I don't load no one up. People had to cut. Is Jacob still in here?
Yeah, Jacob's here.
Yeah,
we got him for about another half hour, and then he's got to go. He's got practice.
No, it actually went phenomenal out there. It was awesome. Every driver we met, I met, like Jacob said, it was his first time running with all of those guys. It was my first time ever meeting. I mean, everyone besides Jacob, I think, so it was pretty cool.
Nick, you missed it earlier. Jacob mentioned your.
I heard I was a cheater when I derbied.
There you go.
And that's why I'm good. I was watching.
I just, I wanted to make sure. I didn't want you to get it second or third hand. I wanted to make sure you heard it right from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I was listening. I laughed.
For as much as Nick talks and used to get accused of cheating, but as much as he talks, he's kind of like Demolition Derby's Colin McGregor. Look at him. Go back to him. Look at
my wife calls me. She says I look like Connor.
You got the beard. You guys got something to say. I mean, you're missing a cauliflower ear though.
Yeah.
Nick can stir up some entertainment too. I don't know if you've ever seen Nick in action.
Inspection out there was awesome. It was really, really, really good. I know you mentioned the Unified. Chris gave me full go on that over the weekend. So 2024, yeah, it will be the Unified rules out there and the other shows. So
awesome.
It'll be a little more easier for Jacob because he can just weld the first 6 inches of his frame with plates and call her a day.
Running back through some more results from out there at Whiskey City Revolution. Dalen Brown got a win in qualifier or round number 3. Ryan Wyckoff got a win in number 2. The Super Stocks of the Super Stocks, and then like we said, Jacob Wood getting the win over Cody Meyer in the Compacts, and then Zach Johnson finishing things out. Zach Johnson has started the season on quite the roll, picking up the win at Capital City Carnage, and then taking, I think it was Troy, ended up with a win out there as well, and now adding this one to the menu. It's been a pretty good couple weeks.
I like the positioning of the big check behind.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a nice
That's-
backdrop right there.
That's Adam Eaton, who's joining us. I made a mistake. I had all these juggling all of these invites and stuff, making sure that everybody knew the times. Adam said that he wasn't going to be joining us right at 6 o'clock, so it was okay, and I inadvertently rushed them, but they've got everything straightened out. But those guys seem to be a bit of a team of destiny out there at Sturgis. What we're going to do, we're sitting right at a perfect time. Let's run the break with the update on the points. We don't have the full results from Sturgis. We'll come back and we'll catch up with Adam, and we'll talk more with Jacob and with Nick. We'll be right back. Next up on the trail for the Unified Point Series, Dead Man's No Mercy 2 in Dunbar, Pennsylvania on April 15th and 16th. After that, they're going to head off to Champaign, Illinois for Derby Icon Spring Explosion on the 21st and 22nd. They take the month of May off before heading over to Ultimate Derby's Midwest Massacre in Pecatonica, Illinois on the 1st and 2nd of June. Then the 9th and 10th is TNT's Wexford War Zone in Cadillac, Michigan. June 16th and 17th is Top Notch's Southern Illinois Showdown in Marion, Illinois. And then June the 24th, Wayne Fair's Richmond Derby in Richmond, Indiana. Very busy month of June, and then that leads us to Iron City Nationals in New Alex, Pennsylvania on July the 1st. Right now, Adam Eaton out in front with 39 points. Trevor Jones with 31. Don Santel with 27. Multi-way split for fourth among drivers that are not currently registered for the full season commitment. Luke Warland, Zach Eaton, Bubba Eaton, Fugie Barnes with 22 points each, and then Eli Maples, Tyler Goodman, Cody Goodman, Wade Ayers, Presley Ayers with 18 points each. Michael Voss, Tyler Brangers with 15 points each behind them. And then it brings up our next committed driver, Levi Deem, who with 14 points, he's tied with Richie Hopkins, Jared Brown, and James Prohaska, and then Logan Sorensen, another committed driver with 13 points each. There's a rundown on the virtual Unified Point Series, the Unified Point Series. The virtual Unified side of things, action coming up this weekend with A+'s Redneck Rumble, and then April 31st through April 2nd is April Fool's Throwdown with Vito 324 Gaming, and then April 14th and 15th is Retro Rumble with Z and K Promotions. The month of April rounds out with River City Rampage with a Hellbent server, April 22nd, 23rd, and then April 29th and 30th is Diggs SFS Smash, that San Felipe Smash. Right now, no changes on the booking. Johnny Shanks out in front with 36 points. Ryan Phillips with 32. Behind him, 7 with 20 points. Dalen Brown, Cody Brown, Kane Huffman, Fernando Haro, Michael Coons, Gary George, and Colin Wiley. 8 with 16 points behind them. Brandon Waller, Jordan Gardner, Herb Elkins, Trevor Falk, Nathan Marker, Jacoby Manuel, Kyle Hubble, and Scott Oman. And again, there's a look at the schedule for the Unified Point Series. Follow along with Mark Elliott, ME527 announcing, 527unifiedseries.com online. Also check them out on Facebook. They're busy. Let them know you heard about them here on the Crash Course. And looking ahead, the 2023 Hardcore Tour is going to be kicking off in just about 3 months' time from where we're at right now. May 13th is going to be the Compact Madness Team Show in Stoneboro, Pennsylvania. 3-man compact team show, Lunar Weld Dominator class, Light Weld Warrior class, Motor Swap Gladiator class, Street Stock Compacts, Smith Metalworks Youth Full Size, and Power Wheels on the schedule there for May the 13th for the early kickoff. That's the Battle at the Borough in Stoneboro, PA. Then the season will take a break until July the 22nd, King of the Hill at Jacktown Fair in Windridge, Pennsylvania. Power Wheels, Light Weld Warrior class, and the Hardcore Compacts. And that's going to bring us around through the month of July to August 11th. Cass and Coal Country, that's the Greene County Fair in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. Power Wheels, Light Weld Warrior class, Hardcore Compacts, and Street Stock Compacts. And then looking past that a little ways through the month of August, the 12th of August is Washington War Zone, Washington County Fair in Washington, PA. And they have a second night on the 18th, Washington War Zone. The first night has Power Wheels, Full-Size Motor Swap Gladiators, Smith Metalworks Youth Full Size, and then Limited Weld Dominator class. And then the second night is Power Wheels, Hardcore Compacts, Street Stock Compacts, Light Weld Warrior class, all online. Follow along on the very busy Facebook page that Frankie Guy takes care of at Hardcore Derby Promotions. And also, you can stop by and get more details from them. Looking ahead at the annual SMW Derby Expo and Spring Meetings coming up on the first weekend of April. Again, check out Frankie Guy on Facebook or visit the website, hardcorederbypromotions.com. Iron City Nationals are coming up on July the 1st, 2023 at the New Alex Lions Club in New Alexandria, Pennsylvania, condensing the show down into a one-day format this year, but it's got all the action that you've come to know and love from the Iron City Nationals, the Iron class paying $10,000 to win. And then also this year they've added a King class, which is going to take 40 cars, $5,000 to win in that one. doing a lot of the one-and-done formats as well that you're used to. Most Wanted Fine Art Stocks, the Light Build, and then the Stock Compact is going to be part of the card as well. This is a unified point series event. Iron City Nationals, July the 1st. Jump online. Iron City Promotions, overlooking that one. Find them on ironcitypromos.com. New Alexandria Lions Club, July the 1st, 2023. Don't miss it.
And we are back, Crash Course 433, and Adam and Zach Eaton joining us here as well. Now we've got Jacob Wood and Nick King also hanging out with us here for a little bit. The Eatons came away with the win in Sturgis. The full results, we're still waiting on everything to be compiled there. To be compiled by Mark Elliott. We had the points update that you just saw, but the Eaton boys coming away with a win. This is their third win in points-paying unified starts and their second one this year. So not too bad of a roll, and that helps cement Adam at the top of the heap in the point standings. And now I happen to notice that there's no longer the asterisk next to the name either for Adam. So looking to maybe commit to more of the season, guys. Congratulations, and for all things considered. Out there in Sturgis at that team show, you guys were running it almost as a team of destiny out there.
Yeah, it felt like it.
You were talking a little bit about your grandfather having passed away, and man, it's hard to beat a confident Derby driver in a setting like that. You felt like he was right there with you the whole time, just pushing you guys along, and you're able to pull off the win out there. Just kind of take me through what that feature was like and what those feelings were, because that's a lot of different things coming together at one time when that checkered flag flew.
Yeah, it was something else. I felt like the whole time I was running, I felt like he was right there next to me. I don't know how to explain it, but I guess 10-foot tall, bulletproof. I felt like I was going to win it no matter what.
Who else was on the team?
I'll say that again. We were going to win it no matter what.
It's one of those things, man, and everybody's been in a situation like that where it just feels like everything is just falling your way. Mm-hmm. What kind of – we always joke that there's some bad luck early in the week that you got to get through in order to get to that point. Did you guys have any challenges getting the cars there or getting the cars put together? Did they fight back at all? Because, last time we talked, we knew that this show was coming, but it wasn't exactly the same circumstances either.
Yeah, we had a bunch of hurdles to jump through after Friday night. I don't know. Can you guys see Zach and my dad here?
We can see you guys are there. Yep, there's the overhead door where the check is. We got a little bit of a glare, but we can see you guys are there. That's no problem.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Now we got everybody.
So I busted a bell housing Friday night. So I had to swap transmissions. It wasn't too bad. The other cars were pretty good as far as they weren't snooted up too bad in front. I think mine was the worst. But we pulled them back down, plated them up. Fuji, he had to swap his engine. He had to swap the transmission. No, he just done the engine. He had to swap engines, and he got that done in record time. I feel like him and his crew, they flew in on it and got it done.
And this was Dad's return to the car, right?
What's that?
This was your dad's return to driving?
Return?
Was it?
No, I wouldn't say that. He's been driving.
Oh, okay.
What was the last one?
He's been hitting it pretty hard, but he just took second at King of Bluegrass in September. I mean, what you say, 3 or 4 a year, anyways?
Yeah.
Gotcha. In terms of those feelings carrying on through the feature and feeling almost bulletproof, was there any of those instances where you catch a red flag and you take a second and catch your breath, not so much look around and say, wow, we're in a good spot with this, but the adrenaline slows down a little bit and you actually take a second to take the blinders off and try to refocus so that you can take that bulletproof feeling and turn it into smart driving?
Yeah, I'd say halfway through, I started feeling real confident.
Yeah. You ever been in a situation like that, Jacob, where you got to take a moment and sort of get back into your game plan?
Oh yeah. You sometimes you get a little rowdy, and then you catch the red flag just at the right time, and you can slow yourself down, look around, see where you're at, see where your buddies are at, and go from there.
You know, Nick's got a front row seat for this from a little bit of a different perspective. You know, after he sees, you know, everybody in the inspection line, now he's working from the side of the track. So can you see that happen as an official too? Somebody who's got a really, really good run going, and then they catch red flag, Nick, and they change it, not so much to say they start bagging or protecting the car or anything, but you can just see that they take survey of what's around them and think, whoa, maybe this is a little bit too exciting.
Yeah, you see that a lot, really. Like, he can be going fast, like super, super fast as a wall guy. You know, it can be moving. And you call a red flag for, like, say, a fire or anything, and then, I mean, you see it all across the nation. I feel like that red flag slows it back down. I think guys, you know, even whenever I do run, because I still run here or there, that red flag will slow you down, and you're just thinking, like, all right, there's only 8 cars left. You know what I mean? I need to tune it down a little bit, and I could get down to top 5 or 3 even. You know, you start looking at other cars, seeing if they're bent, if their, you know, wheels are laid over. Maybe you can see if one wheel's broke, and, yeah, it slows it down after a red flag, I feel.
So Mark Elliott did send me a message here for the Eatons. He said he's not able to join us tonight, but to let you know that the ring is done and it will be at the expo if you want to see it ahead of time.
Did he say that? Did he say that to Adam?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a little early to be saying that.
You know,
All you got to do is keep up the pace you're going right now. I mean, that's not a bad pace to continue for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that'd be a record year for sure. Keep up.
You gotta keep it pumped up. You're in first now.
Yeah.
Let me know if you want to run a front wheel drive car. We'll throw you something for our county fair. It's right up here.
May have to.
We're always down to help whoever's leading in the points up this way. I like that stuff. So
Yeah.
With the
We're definitely gonna look at the schedule a little closer now and see where we can go.
But this is the 4th year now that this has happened, right? Where somebody kind of gets in and dips their toe in the water, and then finds out, you know what, just maybe, because once you're out in front, as Steven showed, and well, as all the champions have been able to show up to this point, once you get out in front, it's almost just a matter of sustaining. You know, as long as you go out there and you start recording points, and now there's a bunch of different situations between the extra money that's paid out in the features with additional monies and points available, and then you've also got the automatic points for being a registered driver, and then you've also got almost automatic show points as well, for lack of a better explanation. So the way to sustain that, it's not like we're going to have a playoff or a chase or anything of that nature. It's going to go to the full points bracket the rest of the way for the season. So it almost favors being out in front in terms of being able to sustain it with the way that the points brackets or the points breakdowns are this year. You still need to go drive the car. You still need to be there. You know, on paper it favors the person that's out in front. So I mean, I think it'd be great if you guys went all in on this and made a bid for that, because you're out front now. You've got a taste of it. Why not? It's only money, right?
That's it. It's only money.
It's only money.
So it's only money and time building cars. I mean, other than that, it's easy.
Oh yeah. It's fun to talk about.
Look at Jacob laughing. How many cars are you going to put together for this year?
Man, I'm about done. I got one more local show here, and then our schedule starts. So I don't get to run during the summer. That's why I pile them all in the spring, and then Blizzard Bash that's it. So I get spring shows and Blizzard Bash, and I might get to run a show here and there during the summer, but with putting on derbies, it's very busy.
How many of you guys got this year?
23.
Oh, is that all?
Holy cow.
Nice light schedule.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's busy.
How many states are you running with that?
Oh, that's all just Missouri.
It's just
That's all
Missouri.
we do. Yep.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I've got to talk to you after the show because it appears that in August we might be out your way.
Oh, I got a car for you, buddy.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you know Chris's experience in demolition derbies, but he's officially retired from driving. So
I was done before I got started.
And he's got the bone chunks to show it.
Yeah, that's not necessarily something that we need to get into now. We've told that story plenty of times. But man, 23 it's no.
Yeah, there's a few weeks that we have 3 or 4 derbies just in a 2-week span, just because of county fairs and stuff like that.
You know, I mean, think about it. In our busiest season, we might have went to what, 8, 10 derbies?
We are not the same people here.
Okay, we as us is this
we as Crash Course, we might have done 10 or 12, but in our busiest season, I know that I did about 40.
Okay, in my busiest season, I watched 10 or 12.
There you
that
go.
was a lot of derby, and I couldn't imagine promoting. Holy cow, you guys are glutton for punishment, man.
Yeah. For
40, that's even worse, Chris. You are nuts.
Well, I mean, you look at what Smash It. They do 42 or so, and now Impact up in Ontario, they're the busiest promoter up there in Canada. I mean, they got more shows that they oversee.
And the thing with Impact, I mean, the snow doesn't melt till like June, and then it starts snowing again in late August. So I mean, they got to have like 6 days a week. So it's tough up there.
So I'm trying to think here. When is the next Unified? Oh, Dead Man. So are we going to see Adam making the trip to Pennsylvania? It's only a month away.
I know it.
I hear a little bit of chatter back there. Is that?
Do that, it's going to be it'll be a game time decision. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And we got to look at the rule set and see what we've got around as far as cars ready or close to ready. And
just build it the way you like, and if they find something they don't like, you'll just change it a little bit. No big deal. That's all.
That's right. Don't worry, he's going to do that.
See, you're good then.
I'm just trying to kind of mentally play back through what the schedule has. There is some stuff that's coming out closer to home for those guys, and they've got some opportunities to go to. Unfortunately, by that time, Dustin's going to be full bore with his schedule. I know, Jacob's going to be full bore with his schedule with Lucky 7, so probably not something that we're going to be seeing him getting out to. But
what about Butler with Nick up there in Rutherford? Do they got full-size cars up there?
Yes. Monday night they have a street stock, which it's our street stock. It's not nothing you guys really run, I don't think. But that is, and then Friday it's actually a smash it, like I guess a super stock style, full cradle, I think, style build, but it's like a lighter build with full cradle or whatever.
So would that be like the pro stock like we run at King of Ohio last year with the? Well, I think we just had the lower cradle on that, I believe.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to do a little bit more with that. I'm not sure if he just disconnected by trying to answer a Facebook message, or if his phone had died. But he has left us for the moment. But yeah, that's one of the things that we were kind of getting into with Dustin Wood last week. Is it's tough to know
what
geographically what we're talking
like
about. Is it kind of like a pro stock? I mean, well, I'd like to agree too, but then again, the street stocks are a little bit more crazy in Ohio, just like everything else when it comes to Derby. So there's going to be some nuance to that. And then there's going to be a similar class like that at Iron City. And then there's the next Sam's next show's coming up, and that's in Illinois as well. So so there's some opportunities that are coming down the line that it'd be great to see if you're able to make a couple of those stops. And Steven Sickles, by the time he was done, he was just crashing minivans to score points and sustain. So who knows? Maybe we'll see some caravans pulled into the shop there before too long.
I'm back.
Man.
Somebody called me.
Oh boy. So Nick is back. He's working on getting his video up and running, but you can ask him now a little bit about what those rules would be like. He was asking if that was closer to the pro stock with a lower cradle that those guys had run before, in terms of the full cradle street stocks that are going to be up there at Butler.
So Monday it's a street stock, so it's like you got to run the 4.6, and you can have the harness or whatever. For Monday, it's like the Crown Vics and everything's like the 4.6, and you can run 0.3s and all that. But Friday it's like Bash Pro Stock, where you can have the lower cradle, or I think it may be full cradle with you know what I mean. I don't know what all is involved with their pro stock rules at Bash, but it's basically the same rules, I believe, on Friday, and it's like $5,000 to win or something.
Yeah, then they got the cars up or no?
What is it?
Can you crease the cars up or no?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, once Jordan releases more of the information, I can make sure I get with you, Adam, on it and send it to you.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
And let you know. Because then if you're lucky, I mean, if your car's not junk, that's what I was about to say about the points. Now that you're in the lead, you got to get your lead further, because once fair season comes around, it gets wild, because like here within 2 weeks, there's 4 shows right here within 20 minutes of my house. It's all unified points. It's Monday, Friday, Saturday. So if you came up to Butler on Friday for that pro stock, I don't know if Preble has pro stock or not, but you could literally just grab a hotel room right here in Butler County and then go the next town up and run Saturday with the same car, if they have that class.
What's the dates on those?
The last full week of July is Butler. So it'd be July, whatever the last full week is. It's normally like 25th,
Gotcha.
21st, 25th, or something like that.
I'm just kind of keeping an eye on the clock. Jacob, you got to get off to softball practice?
I got to roll soon. Yep, I got to roll.
I know. So. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us for a little while and talking about Whiskey City. Congratulations on the win, and keep us posted on what that schedule is like. And I'll get a hold of you after softball practice wraps up.
For sure. Thanks.
Of course, man.
Thanks for everything you do. Yep. Congrats, guys. Appreciate everything you do, Chris. Thank you.
You bet. We'll see you later. Always good to catch up with the OMM guys. So, this year's schedule for the unified points isn't as crazy as it has been in the years past. You know, we had all those county fairs really stacked up. There's a handful of them, but it's been knocked down to about 28 dates. So having those, about that. But having that gamut in the middle of the summer where there was like 3 or 4 county fairs in July, and then 3 or 4 more county fairs in August, that's sort of been taken out of the equation. So in terms of that heavy county fair, heavy travel schedule in the heart of the season, some of that pressure has been alleviated. Some of it, not all of it, but some of it. But if you run up enough of a lead, Sickles was able to show you can
maintain.
Yeah, you can definitely keep it going.
It's you know, as long as you're prepared. I mean, it's you know, it obviously helps a lot. So. See how things go?
We do have another quick break that we wanted to queue up for you, tell you about Demolition Derby Life Magazine, tell you about Catskill Fab and Performance, and we'll be back right after that. We'll wrap things up with Nick King and the Eatons talking about where things might go from here. We'll be right back. Catskill Fab and Performance is your choice for fuel tanks, coolers, and now a list of other Derby components and suspension parts in the Northeast. No copycat parts here. You can find stainless tanks and fuel cells, suspension parts, and even custom bumpers. Check them out online at catskillfab.com. When you have to finish first, you first have to finish. The official steel provider of Reckless Abandoned Designs and the Crash Course podcast. Let them know you heard about Catskill on the show. Catskill Fab and Performance. When winning counts.
Jeffy's Fab Farm in Fredericksburg, Virginia specializes in all of your demolition derby needs. We've got you covered from bumper to bumper. Whether you need headers, shifters, harnesses, fueling systems, or complete turnkey setups, Jeffy'sFabFarm.com can help. We've even got a Canadian branch to help our northern customers. With over 16 years in the industry, we've got the knowledge and experience needed to provide the highest quality parts and put you in the winner's circle. Visit our website today or call Jeff at 540-907-3390. Fabby says the best parts come from the farm. Jeffy'sFabFarm.com.
Want to take a minute to tell you about Demolition Derby Life magazine, home of the hottest action motorsports magazine on the market. With over 40 editions published to date, Demolition Derby Life has grown to be the most prominent publication in the Derby community. Featuring everything from promoters to events and drivers and builds, each monthly release offers unique insight into the hardest-hitting sport in the country. In 2016, the Droz family set out to bring the wild world of Demolition Derby to fans across the world on DemolitionDerbyLife.com. The original site focused on national event listings and providing primary resources of context for drivers and fans alike. After expanding their travels and involvement in the Northeast Derby community, the group shifted their focus on making a big move in Demolition Derby as a whole, releasing a magazine. Today, Demolition Derby Life provides one-of-a-kind bi-monthly publication that covers events, drivers, and derby action across the United States while continuing to expand and grow the sport. One of the ways they're doing that, they've released an app. This app has been designed to serve as a unified media platform for happenings across the Derby community. One of our primary features on the app is a media page that highlights recent releases from podcasters, videographers, live stream services, and more. You can find out about the event directory. There's event information up there. There's different news avenues that you can find on there as well. The Demolition Derby Life app is entirely free for fans to download and use, and it will only feature Demolition Derby-related content. So jump on there, check that stuff out. It's really cool. A full-year subscription to Demolition Derby Life magazine is $60. Bi-monthly releases through the course of the year. Past issues are available. All this information and more, and directory to how to download the app is online at DemolitionDerbyLife.com. Check them out. Demolition Derby Life magazine online, DemolitionDerbyLife.com. You downloaded that app yet?
I have not.
No? I've been downloading apps like crazy because apparently the way to reach people is to be a content creator. So now, as much as I hate to admit it, I have a Snapchat account, and I have an Instagram account, and I have a Twitter account, and I have a TikTok account. And my TikTok, which is now, I don't know, 3 days old, has been banned. Because it took 3 days to get banned on TikTok. So
how did you get banned on TikTok?
Apparently, you're not allowed to tag derbies and share a picture of your dog inquisiting about what derby you're going to watch on a Saturday. But hey, apparently the half-naked girls do a lot better job of generating attention than my dog, and I was expendable. I don't know. It's,
oh goodness!
It is what it is. But yeah, the Snapchat is up and running, and I'm trying to get a little bit more versed in how to use that stuff, so that when we do get to some of our shows down the line, I'll be able to do a little bit better than just fumbling around and taking pictures. But worst case, I give my phone to you and tell you to fumble around and take pictures, and it'll be good. The live chat's been hopping. Scott Brown hoping to make it to the Iron City Nationals. John Alexander, he's asking how it's going. Becky Hicks saying congratulations to Team Eaton. Frankie Guy checking in. Where is home for the Eaton boys? They're a lot of fun to watch. So Kyle Baker enjoyed watching you guys, and honestly, I can't remember from when we talked last time. Where is home base for you guys?
Franklin, Kentucky. I'm a little bit north, about 15, 20 minutes north in Rich Pond, but grew up here, so we're all pretty close here. Franklin, Kentucky is where we're from.
We're about 40 miles, I'd say, north of Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Right on 65.
Well,
Nick's been to the shop before.
Once I have.
Did you ever run that car?
Yeah, he did. He ran it at Wicked Show. What is that? Where I got the raffle car.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
I got you.
Yep.
Huh. Well, there you go. So get on
Very
65
nice
and keep
shop
going
they
until
have.
you see all the big checks and derby cars.
Exactly.
I don't know if you were following along with some of the new information, some new news that came out over the weekend, as we talked last week about the perils and the plights that Demolition Derby is facing in a whole, and is the sport in a good place? Is it healthy? Is it coming back? We've talked about all these county fairs that have found ways to be resurrected over the last couple of years, and new life to some of the Central United States derbies and things like that. Well, one of the big shows is coming back from the dead. Winter Slam is back in 2024, coming the first weekend of February, and it's going to be back in St. Peter. Rules are coming around. It's going to be 5 one-and-dones now, not 4. So apparently they really want to drive home the frostbite. This is...
Is that the one in Minnesota?
these 4 used to get us quite into the dark when it was really cold.
It was iffy in Blue Earth.
Yeah.
Moving to St. Peter was a little bit better. Moving the start time up, they were basically above ground.
Yeah.
So it helped some, but yeah, adding another one and done to that show. I'm really excited to see that one coming back. Jeremy Ertman and Brandon Thomas going to be working on that one, and like I said, it's going to be back at St. Peter, which is where the last couple had been held. Then it went away, and I think it was 2022, maybe 2022. Jeremy sent me a message, said it's coming back. I'm like, great. And then it went radio silent, and there was a lot of clutter on the Winter Slam page, and I started thinking, man, maybe
last week
not.
I saw a post that said something to the effect of, what about Winter Slam coming back, and something along those lines. And I think it was, I don't know, yesterday or today, I saw there will be a Winter Slam.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that coming back. That was one of the
always a great show.
Oh man, did they hit hard?
Yeah, yeah. For a frozen track, they had no problem. They had no problem getting bite and just putting on a show.
Where did you guys say that Winter Slam was at?
That is going to be in St. Peter, Minnesota. Is where that is. That's I can't remember the name of the fairgrounds, but it's in St. Peter.
It's cold in Minnesota in like October. I couldn't imagine February.
The last time I was there, we got up on Sunday morning to fly home, and like as we were coming out of the hotel, it was a beautiful sunny morning, and then we stepped outside, and I have never been so cold on a sunny day. Like the wind wasn't even blowing; it was just Arctic cold. Like I don't know, 50 below zero or something crazy. It was freezing. But it looked like a beautiful day, and then we flew out of there quickly.
It was a clear blue sky, no clouds as far as the eye could see. The sun was shining. It looked like a solid 46-degree day, and you stepped outside, and it was negative 25. And I'm here to tell you, if anybody says there's no difference between negative 15 and negative 30, they've never stood in it, because there is. If you go from like negative 50, remember one year we were there, the high was negative 12,
yes,
and then it cooled off a little bit when the sun went down. It got down to like negative 35.
That's when we were in blue Earth.
That was one of the last years that we were in the river bottom, and I'm telling you right now, it is notably colder when it gets when it drops down like that.
I can remember when we were doing it at Blue Earth, like because we like you and I would stand, or we would stand like at the front of that
in the gazebo.
And that's where we'd be and then to actually try to move and start putting stuff away, like it hurt.
Yep.
Because your body was so cold and your muscles were so cold. It was crazy. But it was always, I never came away from that Derby a single time disappointed. Never once. They always put on a show. It was a great show.
Yeah, if you guys have never been to that, even just to go watch it, you guys have got to go up there and check that thing out. Dress warm. But it's all one and dones. There's there's not enough time in the day because the daylight's so short at that time of the year. They can't have much in terms of qualifying heats. It's four at that time. It was 4 one and dones. There was the chain 80s, the chain compacts, the trucks, like the farm truck style rules, and then the main weld class. And they're adding a class, still figuring out where the landscape's going to be in terms of what's allowed. But God, that show was always so much fun.
Yep.
I remember one year we went up there. It was the cold year. And I had these hunting gloves that went up to my elbow, and I was loading camera batteries like shotgun shells so that they were against my skin, just to try and keep them warm enough so that they could stay charged, and we were going to be able to get through the show. And that's one of the only shows also where they're almost required to run antifreeze, not water, because if they run water, the blocks will freeze.
Yeah, it's crazy up there.
That sounds like I'll be praying that thing's live streamed.
You got to go, Nick. I mean, you got to go. You got to go.
I don't even like 10-degree weather or 20-degree weather. I cannot imagine anything in the negatives.
It's too cold for us at the Turkey Derby.
Yeah, that's this weekend we had to keep the doors open over at Whiskey City because of the ventilation to kind of help the smoke. And then they just put in a bunch of new fans and try to draw the new air in, I guess, to get some of the smoke out. I don't really know how it works, but I was cold inside. You know what I mean? That was about cold enough for me, and it was probably like 15 degrees or 20 degrees, and that was good for me.
It's always nice to go to those indoor shows and watch people come in bundled all up. It's
But when they shut that big door over at Whiskey City, it was really warm. Like the first night, I had to take my hoodie off, and I was just in my T-shirt and the on track, jersey they give you. But the second night I knew the door was going to be open, so I had to wear just my hoodie. I mean, it wasn't like where you're shivering, but it was still, you tell it was cold outside.
At Winter Slam, if you stop shivering, you need to get nervous because that's hypothermia.
Yeah, that's.
You haven't lived, so you've had to work through 7 or 8 layers of pants to use a frozen porta-john.
That sounds like a perfect time for me to go on a cruise.
And another great part of Winter Slam was they always had a heated beer tent.
Mm-hmm.
And usually that beer tent had like a mini bar in it. Like it wasn't just beer, it was a mini bar. It was a good time, man. We've had a lot of fun in Minnesota, that is for sure.
After parties with the bands and stuff.
I remember sleeping through one after party one year.
Yeah.
We came back and it was the weekend of the Daytona 500 and the Busch Clash was on Saturday night, and I laid down on bed and started watching that, and just from the warmth, man, I fell asleep halfway through that, and it was over, man. Next thing I know, it's time to come back to New York.
Yeah, I'm just so glad that's back. That was a fun show, really fun show, and Jeremy Ertman is involved with it,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. He was part of that original group with Randy Wisłowski and that whole group. Hopefully they can get Star Group Napa back involved.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be really good if that would come back. That was something that and on that note, the Kansenbacks laid to rest some family this week, and we remember the Kansenbacks. They were so prominent in the compact side of things, and that's where we met Bruce Johnson, the crash test dummy car, and Colton Newhofen.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good time. Well, I know it's not necessarily fair yet because you haven't had a chance to survey the schedule, so I'm not gonna throw you into the bus and say where you're going to be going next, unless for sure you've got something in mind for the Eatons. But if nothing else, congratulations again on the win. I know it was running a little bit with a heavy heart, but turned this thing into to something really memorable for everybody involved with that team, guys. Congratulations on it. And if there's anybody that you'd like to take a moment and thank and recognize, now would be a great time for you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, Dad, you want to?
Yeah, I want to shout out to Adam Fushi. He's took over from Jeremy from doing the engines and stuff, and he just got done with my engine not long ago, and then he got the other one that we had for Zach done it for us up pretty quick before we could get it back because Zach had his other engine in the big cradle, so we didn't want to swap it all out. So we just got that one done too. So they run they're just on cue, So I just want to make a shout out to him doing the service and coming over and checking on us and, adjusting the carburetor on Zach's car, getting it all, straightened out and ready to go.
Yeah, I see he's been pretty busy. He's had some early success, so it doesn't look like anything has skipped a beat with Adam taking over. So that's good to know.
Ewing engines have been doing okay lately too.
Yeah,
if you saw the post that Daryl and Zach were tagged in, they've had a pretty good early season too. So momentum begets momentum.
Yep.
Real quick, what kind of bumper was on the front of those cars?
What, yours?
Mine?
Any of them? I just noticed the hoodie. Zach, looking at you.
I didn't have Amish on mine. I had a Squeeze 74 on mine. Trying to take it easy on the stock cars.
Gotcha.
Mine's got a Allen pointing.
Okay. Yep.
And mine had my old 76 loaded bumper on it.
Yeah, he's old school.
Yeah.
Hey, why change it? If it keeps working for you, why change? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, I need to shout out to my engine guy too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Collier Performance. Had some good luck with that thing. 3 in a row.
Not bad. Have you freshened it all in between?
No.
Yeah,
He didn't want to shut it off. He just leave it running.
Just leave it running the whole time.
That's somebody that's really come on the scene the last few years. There's a lot of guys who've done a lot of winning with Collier motors. I
want to throw something in there too. They pulled us off the track Friday night, and we didn't get to get out and shake anybody's hands. But the guys we run against Friday night, that was a good hard grudge match.
Yeah.
We just want to give them a shout out too because I tried to find them, couldn't, and
Sorensen.
Yeah.
That was a good grudge match. They had some good stuff out there, boy. I'm telling you.
So
we just lucked up. we've been there. We went to a team show. What was that? Spring 16?
Yes, 15. I think
15 or 16. We went up to Spring X, ran against the Johnsons. First one we ever ran, and we came up short. I know how it is.
And it was rough.
It was rough.
That's a tough group to draw for your first one right there.
Well, there was two different teams that went by the Johnsons. The first group was Bobby Brockway and Garden. Everybody ran into he kept calling them the Johnsons. They had those suicides in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. And I don't think that was the same team that we used to know as Johnson Wrecking Crew. It's now XP Derby Parts. Mm-hmm. And I think that was so I'm not sure which team it was that you guys were talking about. And
Johnson Wrecking Crew. We were against Zach and Troy.
Okay.
And Chris and all them.
Yeah, Ewan was on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good crew to start.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead. Right on the money. Well, awesome. Again, congratulations on the win and congratulations on the success. And hopefully this early season momentum can carry on for you. I'd love to be having this conversation long about November about how the season was so successful and you set all kinds of records and won piles of money and pulled home a championship.
Yeah.
We're going to try.
We're going to get Adam there one way or the other.
I'll let you know, Adam, about Butler, about the rules when Jordan releases them. I'll make sure.
I know John and the Rutherfords and Jordan pretty good. So.
Yeah, so he's the one who puts it on, so he'll have the rules out. He said by the end of the month, I think. So.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. And then if you want to run a front-wheel drive, just let me know. We'll throw you something in Monday night. You come up, make the 5-hour drive on Monday, and we'll throw you a little front-wheel drive. It's Point Sears, too. So.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
we could do that.
That would be cool.
Bringing the world together.
Just keeps getting smaller and smaller.
That's how if you want to get points, you can get them in any class you possibly can.
Definitely. Yeah, that's true.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, guys, I appreciate you making some time for us. Hanging out for a little bit. That's going to do it for this one. Episode number 433 is in the books. We'll leave you with a couple highlights from All For Him Racing. And then that's going to do it for this one, and we'll be back here again. It's not going to be Monday. We got some stuff lined up for Monday next week, but nonetheless, we'll find a way to squeeze in episode number 434 next week. We look forward to seeing you then. That'll do it for this one.
We did the derby. Ow, my head. You want to do a derby?
Hey, Derby World. This is All For Him Racing Videos, where Derby never ends. We have people come up and ask, what is All For Him Racing Videos? And the answer is a YouTube channel dedicated to growing the sport of demolition derby in a positive and fun way. Our passion is to show the next generation the sport and capture the memories for generations to come. We're just trying to show that you can be a Christian, do crazy and exciting things like demolition derby, and just spread the word. We have traveled all over the country filming events, all while meeting many great people, hearing amazing stories, seeing the passion for this sport, and falling in love with the derby community. We have grown to be the largest demolition derby channel on YouTube across the world, with millions of views within our large library of videos. We love what we do and can't wait for what the future has in store. We always want to be a place for positive, exciting, and action-packed derby videos. Thank you, Derby World, and enjoy the videos.
The Crash Course Live is presented by Smash It Demolition Derby, who hosts Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, hosts of May Mania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel, and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.